Steve Kim for UCN Live. I'm here with Dave Itskowitz of Rock Nation Sports. Dave, June 6th, this event, and we're getting the banner, by the way, at your behest. Would you say in many ways this is the official kickoff for Rock Nation Sports as it relates to boxing? I know you had your initial show January 9th, I believe, but is this the real big splash you were looking for?
Well, obviously it's a huge event. It's our first huge event, so I guess you could call it a kickoff for us. We really view our January 9th event was our coming out party, but this is an important event to us, obviously.
Rock Nation Sports, how would you describe your foray into boxing thus far? Because there has seemed to be some growing pains early on.
People say that. They say we've had growing pains. The division's only been around since August. We promote Miguel Cotto, Andre Ward, and a stable of young fighters. We've done some cable shows already. We've got an HBO show coming up. We have a show on BET coming up. We have a deal with them. To say that we've had growing pains, I think, is a little unfair, considering all that we've accomplished in the few short months that the company has been in existence.
Has anything surprised you since you've been the captain here of this ship since August? We talked last summer. Has there anything that has really stood out and said, that's not something I expected?
As long as I've been in boxing, I don't think anything surprises me fully anymore. I mean, there are some things that have happened that I've had to scratch my head about, but nothing surprises me in this business anymore. Looking
ahead, Miguel Cotto, if he gets past Daniel Gaele, can we expect a fight with Canelo Alvarez sometime in the fall of 2015?
Oh, that's the fight that I think everybody wants. I think it's a fight that Miguel wants. It's a fight that Golden Boy and Canelo want, as far as I know. I think it's a fight that the fans want. I think it's the biggest fight that can be made in boxing right now.
What is the end game with Andre Ward? He kicks off the BET series, and like you said, first of all, let's go back to that. The BET series, what does that entail? What are the parameters of the relationship between Rock Nation Sports and BET as it relates to boxing?
We're going to be promoting up to 9 events over 18 months on BET. Saturday night shows predominantly, could be Friday nights also. We're actually working on our upcoming schedule with them now. But it's a great platform. It's a platform that's never done boxing before, so it's a clean slate, and we get to work with them to create something new, which is very exciting.
And getting back to SOG, Andre Ward, what do you think is the ultimate end game? Where is he after the Paul Smith fight, in your view?
Well, we've been talking about that a lot with Andre, and the truth of the matter is he's really kind of cleaned out 168 pounds. I don't know how much there is left there for him. There's some big fights that can be made at 175 pounds. Andre has, he's mentioned in passing, the possibility of down the line going up as high as heavyweight. So I think eventually we'll be seeing a move up in weight for Andre.
Dave, you've been in charge for about, 8-9 months now. You've always been one of the lieutenants. What's it like being the general now?
Well, I don't like to think of myself as a general. I'm part of a team at Rock Nation Sports. It's a collaborative team. I mean, I am given some freedoms to mold and make. It was a great opportunity for me. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm proud of what we've done so far. I think we've accomplished some great things, and I'm excited about what the future holds.
Dave, when we first spoke, when you took over this job, I don't think people understood what Al Haymon was up to. I don't even think we understood what the letters PBC were going to stand for. We now know exactly the direction he's going. We know more of the guidelines to what he's trying to do. Did that take you by surprise, and how did that change the marketplace as it relates to Rock Nation Sports?
Well, there were rumors circulating around back when we started as to what Al was doing, and the way it changed the market is that there are fewer television outlets available to other promoters. That's how it's changed the market. We've gotten creative. We did a deal with BET, so we're adapting, and we're not Al's going to do his thing, we're going to do our thing, and that's what it is.
Dave, you were at Golden Boy during the midst of the coldest war in boxing, Golden Boy and Top Rank. You guys didn't do a lot of business, and you were not in charge at that point. But right now with the PBC, HBO, other factions, is this game more divided and fractured than ever in your view?
it is and it isn't. I think you obviously you have PBC, and PBC is PBC, and then you have everybody else. There's a fracturing there, but there's also, I think, a willingness of everybody else to work together now and make the best fights possible, and I think we're seeing that.
So you would say squarely that Rock Nation Sports is on the opposite end of the PBC line?
I mean, I don't want to say the opposite end. I've always said we're open to doing business with anybody, and we'll work with anybody. So I don't want to say that we're on the opposite end of anything from anybody. We're willing to work with anybody out there, and if people choose not to work with us or only work with themselves, that's their prerogative.
All right, Dave, as always, my pleasure. It's David Itskowitz from Rock Nation Sports. This is Steve Kim for UCN Live.